Welcome back to another episode of... No? Okay,
Yep, sorry.
I'm Lee.
And I'm Richard.
And we are exhausted.
We're also experienced business owners with over a decade of lessons behind us. We've operated businesses in many different sectors and in many different parts of the world.
A few years back, I wrote a book called Once Upon a Time in Small Business. I thought I'd told all the important stories. Turns out, I was just getting started.
This podcast is all about the messy, honest, human moments behind business, life, and leadership.
We'll take you through each of the chapters of the book with more stories about the lessons we've learned through our businesses over the years.
This is Richly Told. Today we're going to talk about what you want from business. People sit down, make a business plan, and they go through all the business finances, they work this out. But what they actually don't want really sit down and talk about is what they want personally out of the business. What do they want to achieve personally?
Ironically, it's something that we've talked about over the years a few times in Once Upon a Time in Small Business, especially.
Yep.
I talked about that. And while we did sit down and talk about that, it's not until we've had a few curveballs thrown at us over the last couple of weeks that we realised that we actually stopped thinking about what it was that we wanted from our business and from our life.
But we did have a list initially.
We did have an initial list. And to be fair, over the last sort of 15, 20 years, or however long it's been, that list has changed. And that's what will happen. It will be an evolving list. So it's not something that you can just sit down and do once, as we've learned, because as we were faced with something that's been quite challenging for us as a family and as partners, it's really opened our eyes to the fact that what we want out of business as individuals and as a family has changed pretty dramatically.
Well, has it actually? Yes, the business and what we do has changed dramatically, but our personal goals, they were things like being able to choose our own hours, although that really turned more into being able to be more flexible with our time rather than choose our own hours. Which
I suppose that's true, but when I looked at this way back then, I don't think I ever considered that we would really ever be in a position where we could choose our own hours. So when you first start in business, and it's funny because we actually had a sort of mini discussion with Rabs from the pod van over a few voice messages about this, and talking about how in the first couple of years of business, you are working 7 days a week.
Oh, you're killing yourself.
When you're killing yourself, because that is a reality of it. If you're starting a business to work part-time hours, you're in the wrong game.
Yep.
First of all, it is...
let's be clear on this, it's not part-time hours.
It's not part-time hours. You will be working. It will be more stressful than you've ever...
Yeah. It's just that we're not locked in the 9 to 5.
We're not locked in the 9 to 5. So back then, I never considered that there'd be an opportunity for us to pick our own hours. Fast forward to now. So we got a phone call from Richard's brother, the amazing Uncle Pete, single, no kids, semi-retired Uncle Pete, who said he was going to come and visit for a day. And one day has turned into 4 or 5 days.
You arrived yesterday?
Which we absolutely adore having him here, but we've reshuffled our life so that we could actually spend time with him. While we are still working quite hard, while we still are putting in the hours, we are able to pull back and go, well, Uncle Pete's here, so let's all spend time as a family and have that quality time, rather than having to go and do your work and try and fit in, we can do dinner at 5 or whatever around that time.
That's right. So we can choose, we're choosing our own hours right now.
Yeah.
Like we're setting up a new archery club, indoor archery club, and I had to go down to the bank to open up the bank accounts, which I just got back from. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that one of our goals was flexibility.
It was.
Which we didn't know what it meant at the time, I will admit.
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant.
We just knew that's what we wanted. We didn't know what it meant. We certainly didn't have it for a long time.
I don't even know if we were even, from my perspective, I don't even know if I was working towards that.
No, it was just something that we said that was in the back of our mind, and then one day, many years later, we realised that we're at a level where we could actually move things around a lot easier. It was very hard at the start because the first 5 years we were catching up. trying to build something. And there was no choice. I think I was pulling, what was I pulling? Like 20-hour day, 7 days a week for a while.
It was hard. And we had a newborn baby. So we were both in the trenches.
But that was one of our goals initially, was the flexibility in our lifestyle. In terms of not less work, just more controlling when we work. So we could also fit in other things during the daytime. We didn't know what it meant at the time, but we did have that as a goal. And I think that has been successful. It
has been. So fast forward to now and here we are. So we've had Uncle Pete here, which has been amazing. We've spent some great time with him. And that goal from back then has been met. So then again, looking at this time, we've been faced with another challenge, which is that I've recently been diagnosed with a disability that is incurable and has the potential to take me out of the business in a fairly big way, or out of the businesses in a fairly big way. And we are now faced with looking at what our life might look like moving forward and what we want to still get out of these businesses, me in particular, based on what I can realistically achieve and how I match that with my goals.
So we also had factored that in as well at the start.
Well, we didn't. We couldn't possibly have ever considered that was going to happen.
No, we didn't know what was going to happen. So what we wanted to do was make sure we had something in place that allowed us to be able to pivot. Which there's a lot of things involved in that with networks, which we discussed in a previous podcast. Is very important. Talking to family, all those kinds of things, clients even, a very important part of that picture as well.
Family is an interesting word, because I think that's what you kind of build in a way. You build a small business family. You build this network of people who become your family, including family, because we have businesses also with family. You'll be hearing more about Byron Leather soon, hopefully, which is our little family side business, which we have.
Well, we double it up for kids homeschooling.
We double it up with our kids homeschooling, but it's located in with a business that my dad has. So we can all kind of piggyback off each other and help each other out when necessary. But we had to build that. So and it's the same with the friends that we have and the contacts, the clients. We've picked and chosen everyone around us.
So that was two goals that we had set that we didn't know what it meant. Third goal was we had wanted to homeschool the kids from pretty much the get-go.
I say we've been homeschooling since birth.
No, we have, but we always wanted to homeschool the kids, although it was their choice. COVID kind of pushed that along rapidly, but we were already kind of set up for that anyway, because that is what we wanted to do, because we wanted more flex. Because, I mean, my kind of work, all I need is an internet connection and a laptop. So,
and you do travel. We do have over.
Well, that was the fourth thing that we wanted to talk about, or we wanted to achieve, was traveling. I mean, I'm getting ready to go to New Orleans in a couple of weeks for some conferences. So that was the fourth thing.
And then straight back into the Philippines.
Yeah, then we're off to the Philippines.
And then the US. There's a lot going on for us.
And I'm probably back in Austin after that.
On top of dealing with home and family stuff as well.
The point of the conversation is that it's very important to set personal goals, even though you might not even know what that means at the get-go. Because what I kind of find happens is we had these goals and they were always back in the back of our minds, and decisions we made and the shaping that we did still aligned with those goals, even though at the start when we said, I mean, when we started these businesses, I had never left Australia. And I had said I wanted to travel. I think the first time I traveled was 2016.
It's funny you should say that, because do you remember 20 years ago, pre-kids, pre-working for ourselves, we used to watch a show called Tabitha's...
What was it? Tabitha's...
Something.
Salon. It was the salon.
I can't remember what it's called, but I had a discussion with Marcus Korak about it, and he knew exactly who I was talking about. So she's an Australian hairdresser, and what she used to do is go into salons in America that were struggling and basically overhaul them in every way. Look at their books, look at their salon, look at what they were doing, renovate if necessary, change the team, retrain. The owner would leave and she would take them for a week, and then she would hand them back a business with the potential to be functional. Now, way back then, my point was that I told Richard I wanted to be a business fixer. I'd never owned a business. I didn't have any kind of education in business.
Not then, no.
Well, that's not true. Both Richard and I come from entrepreneurial families. So our parents have been self-employed our entire lives. So we've grown up in that environment of business and working for yourself, but we never actually really experienced what it was like to put our own food on our own table at that point. But since then, I've, alongside Richard, owned and grown multiple businesses. I've completed my MBA. I'm now doing a degree in business law, or a master's in business law. So I've gone and gotten the experience and the education to actually become the Tabitha 20 years later.
Yeah.
So that is a great example of a goal that I set without actually knowing what it really meant, or not actually
even how to achieve it.
Having the ability to achieve it.
Yeah. So even though some of them, I mean, the traveling one for us was a pipe dream. Really?
It was a pipe dream because, we had no money.
And no experience in travelling?
Well, I'd done the Southeast Asia thing and New Zealand, but stayed relatively close to home.
I think the furthest I'd been away from home was Tasmania at that point.
Yeah. So there was a couple of really big dreams we had in there.
See, I think that people, they set goals, and a lot of people already have an idea of how they're going to achieve those goals, which, in my mind, that's goal setting, but it's not dreaming. So I think that you got to have your goals where you want to achieve certain things in business. You got a fair idea of what it is that you are going to do. Then I think you got goals that are more like dreams, like the really, how cool would it be if we could do that? I got no idea what it even means. I got no idea where it's going to go, but how cool would it be if I had set some dreams as well? They're always in the back of your mind, and I don't know that you're always consciously thinking about it. I mean, when we said some of these things 20 years ago, it was a dream. I thought, that'd be nice, but it's probably not likely going to happen.
Did you even have a passport?
No.
And now you're probably one of the most well-travelled people that I've ever met.
Yeah, I go everywhere. But the point of this particular podcast is set your dreams. You don't have to figure it out. In fact, don't. Set dreams where you got no idea how you're going to achieve that. But what I found had happened was these were things that we had said that we wanted to achieve. These are the dreams that we had. And then we set out on this, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And somehow the dreams also came true. And I think that's because when we're making decisions along the way, because we've said this is what we want, like as a dream, I think that subconsciously is then filtered through to business decisions.
So it's dream setting.
Well, you hit a fork in the road, right? Your business could go one way, left or right.
Yeah.
I think in the back of your mind, you will choose a path based on maybe what you have always dreamed of. Like I didn't have to choose to go right and go with Michael.
No.
I could have gone the other way, but I didn't.
You did try.
Well, he's like my dad.
He was very resistant in the beginning to start traveling. I think once you're a dad with kids,
it was hard to do.
As a mum,
it was hard to do.
The few trips that I've had to do, and I stay in Australia. I don't travel internationally, but the few trips I've had to do as a mum, it's really difficult to actually leave them.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Because I think too, the other thing that's important, I think that if you are starting a business and you're not doing it with dreams in mind, even big audacious dreams. I mean, what's that saying? If you aim for the sun, what was that saying?
Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land
amongst the stars. That's right.
Yeah.
So I think you need to have these big audacious dreams, which becomes your why.
Yeah.
Because your why doesn't always have to be, I want to be able to pay the mortgage, I want to put food on the table, I want to be able to clothe the kids and go on a yearly holiday. But if you really don't have those huge whys, the reasons to do it, I think that you're just setting yourself up for a very expensive job.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's more, it's life. It's not just work.
That's what I'm saying.
Because with what I'm faced with now, I can't imagine not achieving some of the dreams that I still have. And so sitting across from specialist after doctor after therapist, being told that this is what your life is going to look like, and here's a bunch of people who can't get out of bed every day, I said to Richard, I don't want that to be me. I still have so much I want to achieve. I'm not done. And they're the things that are pushing me to make this happen. There's just so many things. I still have really big dreams. And I think that as a life focus is going to keep me going and keep me pushing forward. And in turn will keep the business going and keep the business pushing forward, because it's all one big ecosystem.
Well, it also means that when it's Monday,
that was a deep breath there. When it's Monday, I'm going to say something positive about Monday.
And you don't want to face Monday.
You can do it.
You don't want to face Monday if you have your eyes still set on those original dreams.
Yeah.
it can energize you through Mondays.
Does it though? Really? Are you lying?
No.
No. You know our son, when our son lies, I say, are you lying? And he goes, no.
No.
Did you do this? And he goes, yes. And I always know he's lying because he doubles up on the no or the yes.
When I'm trying to stay positive, all right? What I'm saying is that if you don't have these dreams and the reasons why are far greater, they should be far. If you're starting your business, your reasons should not just stop at, I want to do it better than anybody else in the industry.
Yeah.
I want to
make $1 million by the end of the quarter.
I want to retire by the time I'm whatever. I mean, they're great goals.
I never want to retire.
Yeah, me either, really. I enjoy it. I'd be so bored.
I actually don't think that you should. That's a side podcast. That's another one.
Yeah, we've got friends that retired young and they had to come back to work because they were slowly dying and didn't have anything to do every day.
My dad's 70 and he's still working ridiculous.
Yeah.
We say a little bit too much, but who am I to say that's too much? He's happy, and he's a young 70-year-old, so who am I to say that it's wrong?
But that's a whole nother conversation.
That is, maybe there's two podcasts there, or one, because I know that, just as another side note, in the Okinawa in Japan, they don't stop work. There's no such thing as retirement, they don't drop dead in the field.
They do.
That is what they.
That's what they say anyway.
That's what they attribute to their long and healthy, successful life. Is that
mental.
Their life has purpose, and maybe that's the thing.
Well, they have low dementia rates too.
Purpose. They do have low dementia rates. There's a lot to be said for having purpose, having dreams, and working towards that. And I think it's really different to a goal list where you sit down and go,
that's right.
I want to make $50,000 this month.
Yeah.
I want to get 20 new customers. That's really different because your dreams and your life list is much bigger than that.
Yeah, but the goal is to make $50,000 a month, let's say. But why do you want to make $50,000 a month?
Why do you want to make that a month?
What's the dream? Why do you want to make $50,000 a month?
And it's funny that it took me looking back to realize that I was looking forward and to recognize that we just sort of did that instinctively.
Well, that's what I was saying before, is that it is instinctively when you have your dreams and you have your why do you want to achieve these goals, not just set aside a list of goals to achieve, but why do you want to achieve those goals? It actually just happens because, I mean, what is the conscious brain can handle 4 things at once or 8 things at once, and the subconscious brain handles 30,000
7 plus or
per
minus
second
10, but that
tasks
would be
per second the subconscious brain can handle. So you kind of almost manipulating yourself by stating what your dreams are and communicating them with your business partner or your wife or your husband or whomever is in your life. You kind of are generating all of these possibilities because the subconscious brain, I feel, is working on it. Because honestly, I mean, I could have stayed where I was 20 years ago. If you had stayed where you were, now facing what you're facing now, that would be absolutely soul destroying. At least now we've got all these things because we did make this 20 years ago.
We've done all these things, but there's still more to come. So I think there's 2 things from that. Is don't lose sight of what you want. But if your partner comes to you with all these big dreams as well, don't shoot them down.
No.
Don't let them not dream big. We've got this real culture of negativity and shooting people down, I think, particularly in Australia. I find it more so in Australia, but it is a worldwide issue where we don't let people dream. That's just ridiculous. You can't be Brad Pitt.
No.
But Brad Pitt could be Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt made it. So if he made it, why can't you? So don't let people down by not supporting them.
Do things for the right reasons, and they should always be aligned with your dreams. You know,
and how values and who you are as a person.
How many people do we know that started their own business because they hated dealing with their boss? Is that really a good enough reason to start a business? No, I don't think so.
I mean,
it's a very expensive job if that's why you do it.
It is, but I don't think it's a sustainable reason to start a job because I think you end up finding out very, very quickly that it's very, very hard.
Yeah, or people that start businesses because they think their boss is making a ton of money and then don't realize any of that.
Yeah.
That's not a great reason to start a business either.
No.
I think the only real reason why you would want to go out and start your own business is to achieve your dreams. And the goals you set
are the goals you get.
Are the goals you get, right?
I think that's on the wall at our dojo. The goals you set are the goals you get. It is, actually. Yeah, that's why it came to mind.
And the other one I like too is a black belt is just a white belt that never gave up. That's also...
And that is the same as a business owner. A successful business owner is just a startup that didn't stop.
But you don't have to have the answers to achieve the dream. Because what I'm saying is dreams are dreams because that's what a dream is. You don't need to know how you're going to get from here to the dream.
You just keep having the dream.
You just keep having the dream, and it
going
sorts itself out.
Yeah.
It's actually a really great filter, I find, as well. The dreams, having those dreams, are a really great filter when it comes to decision making and all this noise and these forks in the road you could take. Is that really in line? Could that get me closer to what I'm wanting to achieve? Or is it going to bring me closer to a person who has achieved something that I've dreamt I could possibly do?
Yeah.
You know, maybe your dream is to be the next Formula One racing champion. I mean, then do you get and go out and hang with the guys that are skateboarding? No. You would hang out with high-level Formula One races.
Well, that's something that we do with our kids.
Yeah.
Some people think we're crazy that our kids are 9 and 13 and they've identified what they want to achieve
already
at the moment. But we've already started out, for example, our 9-year-old wants to be a chef. He's wanted to be a chef for
4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah, since he was 5.
We are putting him in front of people that he can have conversations with and understand. Well, most recently is my great friend who does horticulture and permaculture and gardens and things. And so we went there and he spent a day with her, and we're planning our kitchen garden and things that he can grow to cook from. So he's learning about that. We're putting him in touch with friends of ours who own restaurants so that he can talk to them. We're starting him now on the path to talking about these things so that we can do everything we can as parents to make sure that he can fulfill his dreams and he can stay motivated. And they might change, and then we will change. We'll pivot and we'll find somebody else, whatever the dream is next, because dreams do evolve.
Yeah.
Mine have evolved because I fulfilled certain dreams along the way. Mine have certainly evolved. I've never stopped building on them.
I think that's true for me too, to be honest. But I think the point of this particular podcast is that your dreams are what you should be working to, and goals that we set are just stepping stones, pathways, possibilities to those dreams. And the less idea on how you're going to achieve your dreams, I think is actually, well, I think it's the better, because I think that more defines what a dream is. Your dreams are your why and your goals are your how. And that's what I kind of want to wrap up and say.
So 20 years ago, I wrote about what we really wanted from our business in Once Upon a Time in Small Business. And I wrote, there were a lot of places in our business being driven by what we perceived as achievable or possible rather than what we actually wanted to achieve. We were moving forward, but letting our circumstances rule our direction. So we started working backwards, identifying what it was we really wanted from our business and our business life, then developing a step-by-step plan to make it happen. Likewise, we identified exactly what it was in a business partner we needed, and we went actively looking for that person. Most small business owners have big goals, but have you ever asked yourself, what is it that you really want? Even if you have, ask again. Write down your wish list and create your avatars, because the possibilities for your business are limitless. I want to add to that. The possibilities for your life are limitless. You are not restricted by business, by finance, by diagnosis, by anything. You're only restricted by yourself. So with that, we're going to say thank you for tuning in to us again this week, and we look forward to chatting with you next week.
And dream big.
This has been Richly Told.